Welcome to The Current Christian, where we communicate God's Word in a way that is both relatable and easy to understand so that you can develop a more intimate and personal relationship with God. This is episode 7 of our series called Living with God, where we've been exploring both the good and the bad relationships that we may have with God. If you'd like to see our first video, then you can do so by clicking the link in the top right corner. But if you're ready to go, then let's jump in. Faith is a popular word in Christianity because it is synonymous with surrender and control. But this idea of faith can be uncomfortable for a lot of us because we often try to gain more control in our life, not give that control away. When we put our faith in God, it means we are surrendering all of our thoughts and actions to God. Early on in this series, we talked about how our desire to gain control is often a response to being fearful. Why might we try to gain control if we're afraid? Well, basically the fear mentality goes like this. The more in control we are of our situations and the outcomes of those situations, the more secure we feel and the less fear we'll feel. The more feel. This sense to gain more control can easily influence many aspects of our life and will cause us to try and control family, friends, and even God. Although on paper gaining control may sound logical, what you need to understand is that control is just an illusion of security. No matter how much control we think we have, it will never be enough to ensure our safety, and it will never be enough to remove our fears. Fear can only be overcome when we surrender our control into something that we trust. If you can't find the right thing that you can trust, you'll be like a rock climber that is either too afraid to trust their harness, or they put too much faith into a faulty harness. Faulty harnesses are things like money, health, and people. Money can always run out or lose all of its value in an instant. Health is something that can be jeopardized by a single scratch or a cough. People can come and go in the blink of an eye. But there is one thing that will never fail, will never vanish, and will always be there for you. And that's God. God can be trusted with our lives. But if you're having difficulty trusting God, then here's the trick to trust Him more. Are you ready? Give God more control. The more we put our faith in God, the more opportunities we'll have to experience God's love and goodness in our life. This then becomes like a snowball effect where the more we give God, the more we can trust Him, and the more we can trust Him, then the more we can give Him. This way of living breaks that cycle of fear and our hunger for control. God's presence with us is what removes fear, not our ability to be a good person or our knowledge of laws or principles of being a successful and productive person. But here's a disclaimer. How you view the world is going to be transformed in a profound way once you experience God's love and can begin to trust Him. However, the change can only get started when we start to give God some more control. But let's say we are already giving God control, but things are still looking bad. Well, that's where hope comes in. Living a life with God requires both faith and hope to work in harmony. And this topic of hope is what we'll be exploring in our next episode in the Living with God series. This channel wouldn't be made possible if it weren't for God's help and His grace. Also, I want to say thank you to those who are commenting and sharing our videos on social media. Please send this to a friend and be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.